Hello, friends. So I'm back talking about some music stuff because I love it. I'm actually a drummer. That's kind of the instrument I first, picked up. The whole drum kit, I picked it up and played it. Um, and I think learning drums and understanding drums and rhythm and everything to do with the drum kit is one of the most important things in writing good music. I really do. So if you're interested in writing good music, go learn how to play drums. You'll do a lot better of a job. I really do believe. Uh, so today I thought I'd talk about my favorite drummers, particularly in a kind of like you know popular music context. There's the whole like you know old school jazz drummers that paved the way and like solo drummers and everything like that, but that doesn't really fit into like the things I want to talk about, like producing music, everything like that. There's some amazing drummers that are far better than drummers in bands, but it doesn't really fit in, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's check it out. I got like maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 or so, something like that. I just remembered another one that I didn't write down, but I really should. Okay, number one, Danny Carey from Tool. He was like a really big influence on me when I was young. In particular, when I was young, I really liked learning difficult stuff on drums because I knew it would get me better faster. And also, I was just into that particular music at the time. So, like Tool, man, they're probably my favorite band of all time. Like, I think they're the most unique and interesting band I've ever heard. But particular songs, Eulogy, Schism, 10,000 Days, the second part of that kind of double song. Um, Lateralis. He's crazy. Like the best thing he does is he can play, kind of like 3/4. So he'll maybe be playing like a 3/4 pattern on the hi hats, but keeping a 4/4 pattern on the kick and the snare or something like that. There's a really cool breakdown beat in Eulogy that I always tried to learn, and I actually gave up on it. And it's a goal of mine to learn that way, where he does that kind of 3/4. It might be 4/3. I can't remember. Um, you're probably gonna hate me for this. But Lars Ulrich, man, it's cool to hate Lars Ulrich. But the reason I love him is because it's cool to hate him, and also like he's a metal drummer, but I don't really perceive him as a metal drummer. I think that Metallica came from a very punk background, that kind of like Motorhead, fast shit, and even like the Misfits and stuff like that. And the reason I like Lars Ulrich is because he's such a punk drummer. He drums metal patterns and stuff like that, but they're a little bit more simple maybe. But he brings this looseness to it all and this really intense aggression, particularly in their old albums, like Ride the Lightning to And Justice for All, I think is where he peaked. And then I actually think he peaked again on Saint Anger. The aggression that he brings to Metallica's music is amazing, and I really really love it. And I honestly think the drum sound personally on Saint Anger is one of the best drum sounds I've ever heard. So go ahead and hate me. Jason McGurr from Death Cab for Cutie. He grooves. He really grooves, and I don't think I've ever heard. Well, I haven't heard many drummers play the hi hats better than him. He's quite jazzy, and he has a bit of a darker drum sound, which I really enjoy. Pretty much anything on Plans or Transatlanticism, I think that's when he's really doing his best job. Abe Cunningham from Deftones, he fucking hits hard. He's got a tight sounding drum kit. He plays the hi-hats really good as well. He really knows how to groove. His fills are insane. He really knows how to set up a section, and he really knows how to do like just really sneaky fills between bars and stuff to keep the interest happening. Standout songs, I don't know, the first time I heard Around the Fur, I pretty much, jizzed everywhere, so I'm just going to go with that. But, anything Digital Bath, it doesn't matter, he grooves hard. John Bonham, like the last few have just been based on groove and stuff like that. He created a sound, you know what I mean? Like, his drum sound is insane. He can play a drum kit like no one else. Like, he really knows how to hit hard and hit soft, and knows how to make a snare sound a certain way, and he knows how to hit a bass drum just right so that it's not pressing up against the skin and muffling it, and it's not like sustaining too long. He knows how to hit it so it just poof, makes the exact right sound for what he wants to do, which is really, really cool. And he plays cymbals. Since I've Been Loving You, listen to him play the cymbals in that. Other standouts, just honestly, Stairway to Heaven. Like, listen to that song. He just does a great job, and I think that really sums up his vibe. John Delman from System of a Down. He's just hectic. Like, his drum sound is mental, and he's so tight, and I don't know, like, he just really knows how to make that music heavy. Like, they all come together to create a very, very aggressive sound, but he's just, like, just crazy. Chop Suey, like, goddamn. Toxicity. Like, oh my god. I remember when I was, like, 14, learning Toxicity and stuff like that. That's good, cool drumming. Ringo Starr, that's another one, like, kind of Lars Ulrich, like, I hate when people give musicians shit in general. I just don't like that. But it's cool to like kind of say that Ringo Starr isn't good at drums and stuff like that. And I think most people that say that haven't listened to the Beatles. I think that's just the thing. It's just a myth that floats around with noobs and stuff. But I think in particular, the Abbey Road album is where I always think that he really kind of stepped it up. Anything on Abbey Road, honestly. I just think he really, really smashed it on that album. The drums sound amazing. They sound amazing. Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater. Like, I'm not that into metal and stuff like that, but and I think Dream Theater are a little bit more than metal, and I don't really like them anymore. But he's a good drummer. He's insane. The Dream Theater kind of are a show-off band, you know what I mean? It's just a bunch of musical nerds that want to explore what they can do with music as much as possible. And they're very into rhythm and odd time and, everything like that, polyrhythm and stuff. And God, Mike Portnoy, listen to him play. Fatal Tragedy on Scenes from Memory. I think Scenes from Memory album is where he nailed it the most. And then on Train of Thought, where they got a little bit more heavy and stuff, like it's almost nu metal-ish. The intro to Honor Thy Father is like, check that out because that's insane. Stella Mozgova, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that last name. She's from Warpaint, who are like fairly new and not maybe as known either. Super cool band. I like their record that they did with Flood. I think that's amazing, and she drums on that, and I don't know, like the drum sounds on that album and Next Level, kind of lo-fi, and they sound kind of electronic, but also really, really natural and jazzy. It's crazy. She plays really well, extremely dynamic. She's got a really good touch on the cymbals and things like that, and plays the snare quite well as well. Standout songs, like just on that album that I'm talking about, Keep It Healthy and Love Is To Die. Like, as soon as the drums come in that, you're like, whoa, this drummer really is kind of creating the backbone of this music. And it's like, she really understands what to do to bring the, guitar or bass out. They really work together as quite a cohesive unit. Josh Freese, that's another one. He's just all time, right? Like, A Perfect Circle, like he nails it on that stuff. On Emotive in particular, like it's so diverse, that album, and all the weird stuff he's doing, and there's also a lot of cool mixing stuff that went into that album. I think he just drums for everyone. He's a little slut, and I've heard that he's the guy that gets called in secretly when a drummer sucks. Like when a band's recording an album and the drummer can't cut it, and they'll go, I'll call Josh Freese. So I don't know if that's true or not, but he's really, really good. So there's just a few drummers that I really like and who have influenced me as well, and who I love listening to. And I guess what I'm getting at is that, drums are so important. Like a friend of mine, like a guy that used to kind of like slightly mentor me a bit even, said to me that a band is as good as its drummer. And I tend to really believe that, especially when you see a band live and the drummer just sucks dick. And it's like, oh, I'm walking out the room. You know what I mean? The drummer sucks, so the whole band, like, if the drummer can't play in time, then it sounds like the guitarist can't play in time. It sounds like the bass player can't, because they're all just mishmashing and everything like that. And also, if the drummer can groove, and if the drum can make amazing fills and be diverse and, play everything just right, that's the center of the music a lot of the time, especially in this kind of popular music sector that I'm talking about right now. So, as I said, like, study drummers, learn how to play drums if you want to write good music, and you know, model what they do and get your own vibes and everything like that, and then you'll be able to create, as I say, that backbone of the music that you're writing, that everything can, you know, kind of swim around and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's the rhythm section. It's really, really important. And a lot of people like, you know, it's what you're moving to a lot of the time. That and the bass guitar, you know, and music is all about moving and feeling. So, you know, it's important. Yeah, cool. So I think tomorrow I'm actually going to talk about like some bass players and stuff like that, because I think bass players are really important as well for that kind of rhythm section, everything like that, the marriage that it creates. Probably not as many, because I don't think there's actually that many awesome bass players in like rock and pop music, but we'll give it a go, huh? Have a nice day and keep writing some sick music, eh?